Good morning everybody, and welcome back to our tiny little homestead. Well, sort of a tiny little homestead channel here at Urban Yoke, and my name is Julia. Today I'm over at my grandparents' place, and I thought I'd just take you through a little bit in this garden and show you what they're growing, what they're experimenting with at the moment, and share a little bit with you of where my love for gardening started. They've been in this house for decades, and this was one of my first loves when it came to gardening, and the introduction of keeping, plants for food purposes and not just for decoration. So yes, I'm very excited to show you guys around, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it.
Yeah, good stuff.
So this oregano patch has been here for several years and I absolutely love it. It's just here at the front of the entrance, and there's usually some basil growing around the side of it in summer, but in winter it's just this little pond with the succulents and a few other roses in the background. And if we look over the pathway, we can see my grandparents' little experiment garden, or more Nonni, my grandfather's experiment garden. In the front over here, he's got garlic growing, and then different types of leafy greens in the other, buckets. I guess there would be kind of like a 5-gallon bucket. And then on the side, they've got their fairly old rosemary plant and some kale growing in tires over there. And lastly, on this side, they have the beans growing. They're like a flat green bean. They're very delicious. I absolutely adore them. And they pretty much had beans every single season that I can remember in this garden. Then on the other side of the pathway, there next to the oregano, my grandfather has set up these little boxes because he's learning about no-dig gardens, raised beds and all of that. So this is him starting off with his little experiment, and he's got chili peppers in there at the moment, and they had tomatoes in the other boxes. They'll be growing other leafy greens in springtime. Then they've got another rosemary at the back over there, and on this side it's a common rue plant. So that's what we have in their orto, their little vegetable garden at the moment. Okay, so that's pretty much the orto in my Nonni's garden, so their little vegetable garden for my grandparents here in South Africa. For the time being, for their winter garden, they obviously don't have too much growing, but yes, this was the first little garden area where I started to learn how to grow things such as beans and tomatoes, and different types of herbs, which was absolutely fantastic. And yes, it definitely laid down the groundwork. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini tour of what they have going on here. I will do another one come springtime, and then you can see the garden lush and full. So for now, that's it in this little post, or this little part of the video, and I'll catch you guys back at our place. Ciao! Hey, hi guys, so we're back at our place, the Urban Yoke Homestead, and it's also the next day. I actually landed up staying at my grandparents for the whole day, spending a little bit of time with them, so I didn't get to any filming as I got home after dark. But today we had some cold weather, and Charlotte and I decided to jump into the garden and see what we could do. So Charlotte went ahead and watered, and then we also got the turmeric out, which is very exciting. This is about a small contender's worth of turmeric that we got, and they are admittedly a bit younger than they needed to be, but I'm very excited about actually having our very own fresh turmeric. The frost was getting a bit out of hand, and that's why we decided to pull it. But yeah, this is definitely more than enough for us to dehydrate and actually then grind up and dry and use as a spice for our cooking. It's always fun to get a decent harvest out of your work, especially when something takes, you know, over 2 months to grow and you can't really see if it's working as it grows underground. So yes, very, very happy about that one. Okay, it's getting a bit cold here now. So let's finish off the video by going into the greenhouse. Let me show you guys what has been happening there. So if we start off here by these 2 cherry plants, you can see that we've cut them down quite a lot, and they will start growing back and hopefully over winter so we can have them for next season. Hey Sadie, oh, there's your buns. Hey Sadie. Hey Seafer, joining us. So here at the entrance, we've got the other chili plants that we have cut and hoping to overwinter, with a few brassicas in the background over there and some pea plants. So the peas got a bit ravaged as you can see here, but then we did put a few extras in as a succession sow, and hopefully those ones will not get ravaged and remain. There's a few scattered throughout the trellis at the back here. Then going over to the back, this ground is supposed to be full of brassicas, but as you can see, they have not quite flourished, except for these 2. And then over on this side, the chard also got ravaged, but I do have a few seedlings coming up over here that should hopefully be able to spread out, and this whole area can become chard once again. And then if you move over, you can see we've got a bunch of kale and a few other brassicas which are doing just fine, and I'm very happy with them. So I think around Sunday I will probably come harvest the first of the kale for this season, and some radishes hopefully. Hey Sadie. Alright guys, so yeah, that was the little greenhouse shade house update. It's doing pretty much alright, and hopefully Sunday, like I said, we'll get our first little harvest of kale. Right now it's time to bring the cats in for the evening. Now I'm just looking for the last Nonni one, and that's Sam, so he should hopefully be coming up the road pretty soon now. And yeah, that's a wrap for us this video. Until the next one, ciao.